Yo, this might be a Sparking Zero hot take, but I can explain, hear me out. Wild Sense is a very well designed skill than Sparking Zero, and here's why we need more skills structured just like it. So as you know, it's usually known as a very spammable skill that vanishes and counters any physical hits, even supers, except specific situations like Sonic Sway. And you can get all your follow-ups afterwards too. A lot of the strong meta characters have this or a similar version like UI Goku, Beast Gohan, and also other random ones like Base Goku Black. It was so bad that they had to nerf the damage, but here's why I think the design of the skill is so good. The way you punish it, as you should know by now, is by doing a single rush attack then pressing guard, which gives you a vanish on hit, block, or from neutral. And you can also hold the direction to pick where you appear, but when you're close you always end up behind them. The way it interacts with Wild Sense as well, because it's a speedy counter, the game doesn't let you counter vanish it like with the follow-up Vanish Wars, but the preemptive vanish with jab plus guard still comes out. The rush attack hit first needs to connect to trigger Wild Sense, but by the time it counters, the preemptive vanish by tapping block already comes out and avoids the hit by appearing behind them. And here's the catch, they're put in a huge recovery window. In a fast-paced game with barely any recovery, this actually gives decisions some risk reward which is lacking elsewhere. In most fighting games, the bigger the reward for an option, the bigger the risk. Counter supers that take half your health bar can be blocked and punished for a full combo if properly managed, for example in Dragon Ball FighterZ. In Sparking Zero though, even if it's an arena fighter that's meant to be less competitive, there's way too few punishable aspects in it. The only times anyone is truly in recovery is after blinking supers or if they randomly throw wrong ones and you dodge them, which are both rare. By recovery, I mean when they whiff or miss something and are stuck in that full animation for a bit that allows you to do anything you want, to actually punish them for missing something, you know? Like in boxing, jabs are quick strikes that recover quicker, but big haymakers that have potential to deal more damage requires more wind up and lead to more recovery on miss or even on block. Again, that risk reward scenario where the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. Also in this game, because of all the defensive mechanics, they're never guaranteed hits, except when they're in recovery where you can do whatever you want. It guarantees a few hits at least, or even gets you consistent supers in if you have enough ki, which is pretty huge. And they'd be down skill counts. Again, I wish there was a bigger punish to get more out of it, but we can make do with what we can, you feel me? This punish only works on hit, so if they just key charge like you see online, it makes for easy punishes against the Wild Sense. It doesn't work on block, so if they're less obvious about it and defend, it's harder to bypass it. You'd actually have to play the game and try to land a hit without them hitting you first, cause if you counter some of their hits without preparing, that might actually play into their favor, since you can't vanish cancel, charge hits, rush hits, etc., and then their Wild Sense boom will hit you into the follow-ups. This brings me on to my next point. You actually need to spend your attention on resource management, specifically their skill counts. Unlike other skills, there's no obvious physical cue or animation for the skill. You need to be aware of their skill counts, paying attention if it goes down by 2. If it goes down, you'll know they activated Wild Sense, so you can play around that. But if they're smart, they'll try to activate it in the heat of battle when they redirect your focus and attention to the player and the movement and not the skill counts. Then these Wild Senses would hit you hard like a jump scare. It's also not a guaranteed skill. Like there's full power that always gives you your ki back, after image strike that always gives you vanishes for a period of time unless perception lands. So this is one of the few skills that you can actually, counter. So it can't just be brainlessly used whenever. The execution for Wild Sense isn't the best since it had to get nerfed, everyone's complaining about it, which is leading me to make this video, but the idea is great. And that's why I think Sparking Zero should continue with this game design. Implement skills that have clear punishes, requiring it to have some strategy to be used behind it, while incentivize resource management and monitoring, but still being a good and usable skill, So in the right hands and timings, when used properly, it's still very strong, but when spammed is easily counterable. Let me know what you think down below and if you agree or disagree with my takes on this skill. Hope you learned something new today, and if you enjoyed the content, stick around for more, you feel me? I'll see y'all next time. Peace.